Hello guys, this is me Simo Orohara, and in this video I'm gonna tell you how I imagined the last arc of Bleach would be. Of course, what I will say is coming from a personal vision that I would have liked it if it happened, and secondly, what I will write is a mere presentation of ideas that may have some plot holes because I'm not actually writing the arc but only sharing with you basic ideas. Anyway, when the last arc started in 2012 and we knew that the next enemy was the Quincy, some were wondering about the fact that the manga would end in 8 years, because in 2010 it said that Kobo had a plan for Bleach to last for another 10 years. So there was this question, we will stay with the Quincy for the whole 8 years? Or even if there was no specific period for the end of the manga, will Quincy be the last enemy of the story, or there will be another enemy? And I was one of the people who thought that it was possible that the Quincy might occupy a part of the arc and not all of it, so that there would be another final enemy for the story after they are beaten. Of course, here the question that came was, who might this enemy be? Here my idea arose on this subject when we learned at that time of the 8th Kenpachi and the novel of Spirits Are Forever With You that was published in the same year of the last arc started. The information that was in the novel was about the presence of a prisoner in the Muken other than Aizen Soseki, and it is the 8th Kenpachi Azashiro Soya. So, at that moment I started thinking, Aizen wasn't the only in the Muken. There may even be other strong Shinigamis, criminals or other with revolutionary ideas, Shinigamis monster, and among them was Aizen Soseki and the 8th Kenpachi. So I got this idea of this scenario, that at some point of the arc, a big plot twist will happen. It will happen immediately after the Quincy are defeated with their emperor, who is Yuaba, and the Shinigami rejoice in their victory and the fact that they finally triumph over the Quincy. Suddenly, in a chilling scene, Aizen comes out with a bunch of the most powerful prisoners of the Muken. He will be accompanied with Azashiro, and with him, for example, a former member of the Zero Squad who tried to overthrow the Soul King and was imprisoned. And with them a criminal Shinigami that was an ex-friend of Yachiro and was imprisoned, and a prisoner from one of the noble families that was imprisoned for something. I mean, those prisoners will be the most powerful and fiercest figures ever to known to the Surety in Alliance headed by Aizen Soseki. Because, and this is my personal belief, Aizen Soseki was the character that put Bleach on the map, and I think Bleach must end with Aizen as the last enemy of the story. His previous battle with Ichigo is only the first half, and the second half will be the death of one of them. Of course, the prisoners of the Muken will not just appear in the events, rather there will be a narrative building since the beginning of the arc, but it is shadowed by obscurity that disappears with a plot twist, and their goal will be to ascend to the Royal Palace, and this time Aizen will not have some Arankara under his hand, but next to him will be a phenomenal Shinigamis with legendary Bankais and amazing Kido, majestic Zanpakuto, but they also have one past, great betrayal, and a revolutionary ideas against the Soul King led by Aizen Soseki. I can elaborate on how the first part of the Quincy arc is gonna be, but what I had in my mind was the Quincy will conquer the Surety and expel the Shinigami, and a number of captains and vice captains would die, while Ryuken, Isshin, Tessai, Kiski and the rest of the captains and also some Espada as an ally, and Ichigo with Yuryu will be hiding somewhere to prepare for the second half of the battle, where they are trying to defeat Quincy, and they do that after some sacrifice and big battles. And of course, I'm not gonna do what Kobo did with Yuhabach by giving him superstitious powers so that the defeat would be possible. Anyway, let's go back to the moment when the Muken prisoners are out. Aizen will come with his allies, while the captains and their allies have exhausted all their energy in fighting the Quincy. Nothing was left to confront this sudden enemy. Everyone will think the end is near. It is Aizen again. It is the Kenpachi that horrified the Surety. She is a former member of the Zero Squad who wanted a coup against the king. He is the leader of one of the noble families. He is Onohana's friend, the Surety's criminal, and other criminals of the first generation. How we will fight this? But in a moment of despair, the sky will split, tremble thunder and lightning. The royal guard will intervene finally. and it will be the actual appearance of the Zero Squad, and they will be also phenomenal with strong personalities that descended specifically to face this great evil, Aizen and the prisoners. The Zero Squad will be different from what Kobo presented. Their design will be worthy of their place and strength as well, and there we will get into the last phase of the story, and it is Aizen and the Muken prisoners against the Zero Squad. But before the clash, a special member will send Ichigo and possibly Kisuke with him to the Royal Palace to train and meet the king. So there will be two sides, prisoners of Muken versus Zero Squad, and the other side Ichigo going to the Royal Palace. Of course, Royal Palace in my view will be inhabited by some residents. They are high-ranked people, including some people from the 5 noble families like Byakuya's grandfather. So some noble personalities have the right to live within the Royal Palace, where Ichigo will meet some characters and what remains of the royal guards in order to explore the history of the worlds and some secrets related to the story and about himself and his power, and he will train there and meet the king, and he will tell him some secrets about Aizen or himself. Other side, legendary battles will take place as Zero Squad Bankai against a Muken prisoners Bankai. Just imagine it and see what you will feel. Anyway, there will be a balanced fairy battles, but in the end Aizen will be able to enter the Royal Palace with those who stayed alive with him, and there will be a historic moment. Aizen Sasuke will put his feet for the first time on the land that he was always dreaming of. There we will get into a flashback about Aizen, parallel to the Soul King revealing the truth about Aizen to Ichigo. Then the last battle will take place in Bleach between Ichigo and Aizen in the Royal Palace. It will end with the death of one of them, and because I think this is a shonen manga, Aizen will be dead, but with honor, especially after we discover his true motives. These ideas are inclusive, and linking them will give us another small ideas, and then we will create some storylines to each character and give her its right. But I was really hoping that the manga would end with a final fight between Aizen and Ichigo within the Royal Palace and the death of one of them. I also wished that the 8th Genpachi, Asashiro Soya, was included in one of the last arc events. So what about you guys? Did you have anything you wanted to happen at the end of the story? Tell me in the comments, and see you guys in my next video.